Hey family, it's Shanine with simplyabetteringyou.com, and I don't usually record on Fridays, but I thought, you know what? This is something somebody needs to know. So this past month, things have been tight financially, and I've had to rely on my emergency funds and my savings quite a few times. And I'm getting to that point where it's like, I feel like I'm taking more out than I'm putting in. So I need to put a stop to that. But we had extra medical expenses come up with one of the kids this month, and we still need to get to that next pay period. And we don't want to go over our budget. So we sat down last night and we were kind of crunching the numbers, and it's like, okay, what's really going to put us over is going to be groceries. And I started thinking, okay, I've been here before. I've been here several times where that panic sets in and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to make for meals? What am I going to pack for lunches? If you guys didn't already know, our kids are in a private Christian school. That is something we chose to do and budget for. And by the grace of God, both of my children receive scholarships, so we are not out of any expenses as far as out of pocket. However, the school doesn't have a cafeteria. You can order in food and have it delivered for them. However, I think that's kind of wasteful, especially when I looked at the prices. I was like, oh my gosh, why would I spend $7 to $10 a day for my kid to eat lunch at school? So I pack their lunches, and I do that for several reasons. I have control over what they are eating, and also I can see what they are eating, and I can definitely make sure that what I'm packing they're gonna like. But that's another video. So I'm planning. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to go to the grocery store, and I need to figure out what am I gonna get. However, I want to stay under $100 for this week. Now, it's been a while. I was doing $100 or less every week. I had our grocery budget down to $500 a month for the 5 of us. And then inflation happened. I'm at pretty much $800 a month now, which I'm trying to accept, but I'm still fighting it. So I'm looking at my budget, and I'm like, okay, I really am going to squeak by here. What kind of meals can I put together? And I started to think back. What was I doing a long time ago when I wasn't working? We were living on one income. We had all the children at home, so the 2 oldest as well, which were boys, and they could eat. Oh my goodness, could they eat? So I'm thinking, okay, what was I doing? What do I need to change? And I remembered this hack that I heard on one of the mom blogs. One of the mom blogs, at some point I heard this and I was like, this is ingenious. Shopping your cabinets at home. So basically, you're gonna grocery shop at home first and see what you have, and then determine what kind of meals you can make from the food you already have at home, and then the few items that you need to buy from the store. So I wanted to break this down for you guys, because this will save you literally thousands of dollars a year. Absolutely, you heard that right. Thousands of dollars, not hundreds of dollars. Thousands of dollars a year if you just look at what you have at home first, what you can make at home first, and build your meal plan for the week around that. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of my pantry and my fridge and my deep freeze, and I'm going to show you how I meal plan, or at least brainstorm the meal plan before I decide on what I'm going to go and get from the grocery store. Okay, so here we are in my spare cupboard. I have a pantry, but I needed to take some weight off the shelf, so I moved my canned food to a cupboard, and you can see there's not a whole lot of canned food here.
I don't rely on a lot of canned food because we buy a lot of fresh food. I try to avoid staying out of the center aisles, but you know, you also have that option when you're ready. When you learn the skills, you don't necessarily have to buy canned food. You can actually can yourself, which, as you can see right here, this is peach butter I've canned. You can also do green beans and things like that. We of course need a bigger backyard, but that's another video. However, I wanted to show you how I do this. So I get out 2 pieces of paper, and you can also use one and divide it in half, but I have a pick up at store sheet. So these are going to be items I'm going to get at the store. And this is my home store. So these are items that I already have. So I've gone through my cupboards and I've started to write things down that I know I have, and then things I know I can use. And really what you're looking for when you get up here and do this, this is the macadamia nuts I hide from my oldest daughter. It's like the only snack food that I have that I can eat. So what I do is I get up in my cupboards and I'm looking for what I have in excess. You want to use that up first. So I have tons of beans. I bought them when they were on sale and I got them in big flats. So I have tons of kidney beans, black beans, chili beans. That right there is screaming at me, you can make chili. You can absolutely make chili whether I have to buy tomatoes or do I have tomatoes. And oddly enough, I keep my tomatoes next to my beans. It's not a coincidence. I also have back here a can of refried beans, which means if I do have some things, I can make some type of burrito or taco or Mexican meal because I have black beans as well. But here it is, I have tomatoes, so I have tomato paste. You can make a sauce out of tomato paste, whether you use stock or water. I have a can of tomato sauce. I have a huge can of diced tomatoes, and I have another can up there of tomato paste. In this, I also have tomato sauce. Now, I do make my own tomato sauce, but I also buy this particular organic tomato basil sauce as my backup sauce. Quick nights that I don't want to cook sauce or get it started, or I just have one of those nights where like, oh, I didn't plan. If you have noodles, you got some kind of spaghetti. Whether you're throwing in chicken, hamburger, or sausage, you can make it work. Also in here, I've got Italian dressing, so could make a pasta salad, could do some kind of salads, pickles, salsa. So we have some salsa. That is telling me right there that I could probably do a taco night, taco or burrito night, and we have our extra mustard. So I go through my cabinets and then I start writing my things down on my list. So don't mind the spelling. Sometimes I just scribble so I have an idea of what I'm doing, or I get one of the kids to help me. And, you know, we can work on spelling while we're checking out the cupboards. So in here, it looks like I have some pumpkin butter, apple butter, cherry pie filling. That would be the fiance's because I just can't do fruit out of a can. It really bothers me. I have crushed pineapple. This goes really well over chicken, if you want to do like a Hawaiian chicken. And we have a miscellaneous can of corn and some black olives. So pasta salad's looking like some kind of promise. All right, I have a little bit of bread. So I know I'm either going to have to pick up bread or make bread. Oftentimes we run to the store because we're like, oh my gosh, we're out of bread. Most of the time we have what we need to actually make bread. And I can tell you I have what we need. I have tons of cans of salmon because I had just got this order in, I think about 2 weeks ago. So we can do salmon patties. My daughter's favorite, most nutritious Vienna sausages. You know, you can say what you want about the nutrition value of this. It's not organic, it's most definitely processed, but we all have that one thing that we need to splurge on, and that's hers. She loves those little Vienna sausages. We have soups that my fiance can take to work for lunch. Those could also be some lunches for the kids or even myself. And let's move to the next cabinet here. Okay. All right, excuse my messy pantry, but not a large pantry. And of course it is that time of the month. We're getting down to those last few weeks. It's time to go grocery shopping and restock. So my next bulk order isn't until next month. So we got to make it work. I do have flour. I do have yeast. Therefore I can make bread. I can also make cornbread or some type of corn casserole because I have corn and I know I have milk. I have eggs, so we can do something there. That'll also go really well with chili. You can do a like a chili casserole or a chili bake and do your chili at the bottom and put the cornbread batter on top of it. These are school snacks up here, and they are looking mighty slim, so it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of chips, but I know we have some. Plantain chips will also go well with chili or some type of tacos. We've got some pretzels and looks like 3 different kinds of bags of tortilla chips. So maybe some type of taco casserole. Let's see what else we got in here. Do we have any flour tortillas? I can also make them, but I've got maybe 4 in there. So that could be promising. My kids go through here a lot, and everything is out of the way. Here's our noodles. I've got 1 bag of egg noodles, another half a bag of egg noodles, so that could possibly be some type of spaghetti. Don't have enough spaghetti, but that could very well turn out to be somebody's lunch. I have some wild blend rice here. Here is a chili seasoning mix. I do have my own, but you know, it never hurts to have the extras. We have quinoa, big old bag of lentils, another bag of lentils, maybe some type of soup there. I have some lasagna noodles, breadcrumbs. Not sure what to do with breadcrumbs. Let's just throw those in there. We have probably half a pound of elbow noodles. I've got some more rice, some dried black beans. These are heart of palms. If you are somebody who has a gluten intolerance or cannot eat any kind of pasta, these are great. This particular brand, the Natural Heavens, I put them in a pan and heat them up and kind of get the wetness off of them, and they taste wonderful. We've got apples that we were making applesauce with, chicken broth, more rice. Okay. At the bottom, we have sweet potatoes, and then my excess cans of corn and peas, and then a huge bag of rice. I have an onion. So definitely got some plans there. I have plenty of oatmeal, So whether you are making oatmeal, granola, you can do protein bars. You have different options there. I have a little bit of grits in the back as well as cream of wheat. And then we have raisins, coconuts, dates, which I believe I have a bag of carrots, so I could do some carrot cake protein balls. That would be good. The girls would love that. So we have some options. Also, we have sugar, flour, flaxseed, okay. Okay, so this is my very bare fridge in the house. And forgive me if it needs to be cleaned. I have the apples in the back for the kids' lunches. I've got my turmeric and ginger for my juicing. Oh, I think that's the end of those. A little bit of celery. Beef broth. Already thawed some hamburger for tonight. We have our strawberries, a little bit of lettuce, some hot dogs, turkey sticks, and cheese. Yeah, we're getting down to the bare minimum so far, with a little bit of grapes and blueberries, which will end up being eaten before I think the dragon fruit has seen a better day. Let's toss her in the compost. We have some yogurt, so we could do some smoothies. Big old block of Swiss cheese. Oh, hang on. I know I have a can of tomato sauce. I also have some squeezy pizza sauce, so I could make tortilla pizzas. You can also make them and use bread. Kids love them. Remember, if you have flour and water, you can also make your own dough. You can make your own pizza dough. Big old jar of pickles. I have pickled cabbage, sauerkraut, figs, salsa, some more pumpkin butter, pepperoncinis, my faves, and then all the condiments here. Which, don't think poorly of your condiments. If you have mustard, there's a spicy brown, here's Dijon. I don't actually put this on anything. I use this for recipes. So you can do a Dijon mustard chicken, put some honey in it, and you have your honey mustard chicken. So let's run out into the fridge outside in the garage. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. We have our fan running in the garage to keep it cool in here because we do live in Florida, and it helps a little bit. Okay, out here is a little different. This is a spare fridge that we just throw excess things. My fiance keeps his coffee out here. We have an extra thing of eggs, spinach. I have one cucumber left, which has seen better days. Cheese needs to go. But it looks like I have a little bit of cheese to do sandwiches, maybe a casserole, spinach. I do have carrots, a little bit of applesauce pouches. Look at that. Another full container of yogurt, so we could definitely do yogurt and fruit or some kind of smoothies. Also in my inside fridge, I keep all my frozen fruit in there. like we have chicken drumsticks, a few roasts, some ground bison, sweet Italian sausage that would go great in spaghetti, hamburger, we've got a pork butt, flat iron steaks, some more pork, and of course you want to bring your pen and paper with you. We have some ranch steaks, some frozen peaches, our huge peach haul, and it looks like I have a package of vegetable medley and some California style vegetable mix. So we've got some options. I also have a whole chicken in here.
All right, now let's sit down and I'll show you how I do this.
Okay guys, hopefully you can't hear my laundry going in the background, but I've pulled out two recipes, a taco casserole and a southwestern stuffed sweet potato. Now for both of those I'll need taco seasoning. Now obviously I don't have any taco seasoning, but I make my own. So I have everything I need to make taco seasoning. And what I would suggest is either Google it or look it up on YouTube, or get yourself a good cookbook that has sauces and spice blends in the back of it. So you can make your own sauces. So I have avocado oil mayonnaise, ingredients for ranch dressing, barbecue sauce, teriyaki sauce, jerk seasoning, Tex-Mex seasoning, barbecue spice rubs, taco seasoning. You know, like I said, I love this book. It makes things simple, and you're putting together whole ingredient meals versus relying on something that comes out of a box or a can or a container of some kind. Okay, so I've got 2 meals down already, and I know that we're definitely going to go probably chili and something like spaghetti, then salmon patties. That gives me 5 meals. And let's see if we can pull some side dishes out of this. So we have our corn and our cornbread mix. So we're going to make cornbread. That will probably go with the chili. I'm going to make bread, which will go for sandwiches as well as bread to go with the spaghetti. I have some spinach, so we can do some salads. Now, myself and my fiance, we don't eat bread usually with our salmon patties. We eat them alone. So we'll probably do that. And I've got some romaine lettuce, so maybe we'll put those over some romaine lettuce. And let's see, this is where we may need to buy a few things from the store. Maybe grab a tomato, since my poor little tomato plants, I just ran outside and pulled one of my tomato plants. I have a pepper plant that died. They were right next to each other, so I'm thinking one of them got sick, probably infected the other one. So we'll get some tomatoes. Maybe I'll go ahead and do the pasta salad with the salmon. So we have pasta, I have the black olives. Let's grab a green pepper. I already have onion. I have a yellow onion and a purple onion. And then we're gonna call it a veggie pasta salad because I don't have any salami or pepperoni or anything to throw in there. do have a little bit of feta cheese left, so we can use that. So we'll do the pasta salad. So let's add that. Okay, so right now I have all my dinners, and I have my to-go withs, my side dishes, and we're going to do smoothies. We have eggs, and we have oatmeal that we can do breakfast in the morning. We have our plan. Oh, and I got an extra piece of paper. So we have our home store, which is lots of little things, and I didn't even write everything down because I've done this a few hundred times, so I have an idea of what's in my cabinets. I have my plan of everything that I'm going to make, and I'm going to transfer this over into my planner so that I don't forget. And then we have the grocery list right here, which we're also going to transfer over into our planner so we don't forget. Now, real quick tip to share with you. Inside your phone, you have something called notes. Okay, it's this cute little icon. It says notes, and you open it up, and oh, look, my baby's been in there. She left me hearts. Okay, but we can add a new note. This is where I want you to put your grocery list. Okay? Because if you're like me, you do this, and you love to do this. I love to write everything down because it gets it out of here, and it puts it on a piece of paper, and it makes room for more things, but it's a stress reliever to be able to write it down and say, okay, there it is. And then you go to the store, and you go, I left that paper on my desk. That paper's in my other bag. You know, I leave it at home all the time. But we never leave home without this. This is always with us. And even when we leave the house and forget it, we go back to get it. Put your grocery list in here. That way when you get to the store and you say, oh, I left my paper at home, you have your list. This saves you from spending excess money because you won't remember what's on your list. You're going to guess what's on your list, and you're going to buy more than you need. Put it in your phone. Right under notes, it's a free app. It comes installed on your phone already if you have an Apple phone. I'm not sure what they have on Android. So I'm going to transfer my list into my phone. And we have it in our planner. I keep my planner with me, but this is more of my reminder, the just in case, the backup. So, and I don't use my planner like a calendar planner. Like, I don't write appointments in here. I write things that I have to do. So this is like a to-do list planner. And then I keep track of things like, did I walk today? Have I drank all of my water I'm supposed to? Did I juice today? And then I write ideas and things in here, things I need to remember. So that is what I use a planner for. I tried to use it as like an appointment book, but I was constantly leaving it at home. So this is where I put my appointments. You know, we have the Gmail calendar that you can put it in there, and everything syncs together. You have your Apple calendar, put it in your phone. This is a great source for calendar information and appointments. This is a good source for writing down ideas and reminders. Okay, so that's it. And that was simpler than it probably sounded. Yes, it takes some time, and it doesn't take a lot of time. You know what's in your cabinets in your fridge, and sometimes you just need to open it, move some things around, write down what you have, and then sit down and figure out what you're going to eat, what the meal's going to be. And, you know, for those of you who don't cook a lot, you will generally have the things that you need in your cupboards of things that you do cook and make a lot. So forget fancy. forget, pulling out a cookbook you have never touched and trying to make a meal. That's not how that should work. You want to make it backwards. So you want to find the items that you have and then put together the recipe. So if you get on, there are apps and there are places online. So there's All Recipes, and you can use the Yum app. You can actually type in items that you have and then do a search, and it'll pull up recipes for you. So guys, I hope you can see that in that time when you're starting to freak out and you're like, what am I going to make this week? And you don't want to eat peanut butter and jelly all week. You don't want to eat beans and rice all the time. You have more than you realize. You just need to plan. Be intentional with what you're doing. Don't let the fear overtake you. Don't be consumed with the confusion and the worry. Sit down and brain dump. Write it down. Put it on paper and see that you are actually living in abundance, and be grateful for what you have. Be content with what you have, no matter how little it could be. So guys, I hope this blesses you today. I hope it has helped you in some small way to see that you really can utilize what you have on hand. So guys, if you like this video, definitely hit the like button. If you have any suggestions of videos to do in the future, videos like this, if you have some ideas like, does this really work? Comment below and what those ideas are. I would be happy to research them and find out if they're legit. So guys, like I said, I hope you like this. Let me know below. And as always, I love you guys, and I bless you on your journeys.